Paradox Interactive's development team has finally left crunch mode, and their grand strategy game Hearts of Iron 3 is now released. And we had an opportunity to sneak in behind the scenes at their Stockholm office and find out more about the work behind the game. So, tell me what you worked on for Hearts of Iron 3.
Mainly been focusing on graphics programming and the AI. Right now I'm tweaking the AI and optimizing it from some feedback on the forums. The hardest technical issue is probably the huge map. It's so much bigger than any of the other games we've done, and just having it run without slowing your computer to a crawl, that was a big obstacle in the beginning.
What are you most proud of for Hearts of Iron 3?
I think that we actually got the unit automation and AI help to work well. It's fun to hear when people use it, and lets you have a more higher up spot and observe the action instead of having to worry about each individual unit all the time.
What are the largest changes between Hearts of Iron 2 and Hearts of Iron 3?
There's more of everything, and also we added things to let you cope with it, like automation of units. AI will help you out with things like diplomacy, things like that, as much as you want.
What would you like everyone to know about Hearts of Iron 3?
How awesome it is.
The lead programmer for Hearts of Iron 3 is unfortunately not here today, but their new community manager is. Do the discussions become very detailed?
Oh yeah, people love details on this forum. It's very obvious, and they can go like how deep as it's possible. I think it's really fascinating and fun.
How do you keep a forum alive?
Well, I think the core is the games, because people love the games and they want to discuss them, and they want to discuss different aspects and get ideas, and also when they have issues you can get a lot of help. A good thing is that I can have the developers here, and I can ask them and I can get a clear answer. This is how it actually works, and then I can post that on the forum, and people like to read that stuff. I mean, it's a very large forum, and if you're not there enjoying it, you should be.
And right over here are the artists and the researchers, and these guys are the ones that make the game look as it is intended, and they make sure that the game contains accurate facts.
Well, I'm the 2D guy, and I do interface such as buttons, icons, and all kinds of illustrations, and I also do the map graphics, like textures for the map.
What do you have to think about when creating, for example, an interface?
Well, it has to be functional at first, and hopefully look good as well. But it's really hard sometimes. I guess get an interface from a programmer who has messed it up pretty much, so I have to fix it. I can show. I have a loading screen here that I did. It's from a pretty famous World War II photo. So I did like lines on top of the photo and then painted so it looks like the photo, but with color. And if you zoom in, this is a high resolution, so you can see like the brush strokes.
Should everyone look for something special that you've hidden into Hearts of Iron 3?
It says Paradox on the tank in the loading screen, but it's not visible. They can look for that maybe.
Yeah, I'm responsible for the 3D content and animation in Hearts of Iron 3.
So what parts are you most proud of?
Probably the aircraft, because we produced 48 aircraft in 6 weeks, so that was one aircraft in every 5 hours. So, well, usually it's produced one sprite a day, so you find references for whatever you're gonna make today, an aircraft or a tank or whatever, and you just get on modeling, texturing, trying to get the animation finished at the end of the day, and trying to get it into the game also, just testing it so it's all done, and then you can move on to the next unit the next day. There are about 100 units in Hearts of Iron 3. Well, we try to make them as historically accurate as possible, but usually they come in lots of different models, like A through F, and then you like to just Google the images and try to find the best ones and just try to determine which ones are from each model. Well, currently I'm working on a Soviet tank that will be part of the Soviet Sprite Pack, which we will release here pretty soon. Well, it's pretty detailed actually for the games we're making. Like you see, even at this level, they're pretty detailed, but they're gonna be this small in the end. So,
But can it be annoying that you put all these like details and small things in, and you don't, and most of the gamers won't even see it?
well, yes and no, but it's part of the production process. I mean, you can't just like aim for the exact level you're going through. You're just gonna have to surpass the level you think you're gonna need. Perhaps you can even reuse them later in trailers or whatever.
And at the end of the room, we find some senior developers.
For this game, it was basically only the military AI I worked with. I think that the biggest challenge is probably that in this game you can automate the units, you can put theaters, army groups under AI control, even though they work for the player. And since that has to work well, the AI can't make any stupid mistakes, it has to be pretty decent at everything it does. You can't get away with anything. So that was pretty much the biggest challenge, I think. Also, of course, it can't cheat since it's under player control. Not that our AI ever cheats.
What's the largest differences compared to previous Paradox titles?
I think the closest game is probably Hearts of Iron 2, and 1, of course, with the front AI. You have many units covering a single front line. And that is kind of different from the AI we used in, for example, the EU games, where you have big single armies moving around, doing their own thing. So I think the biggest difference is that you have to have a whole other level of cooperation between the divisions and armies. Also, compared to Hearts of Iron 2 and 1, I think it goes without saying that the whole automation system where you put whole segments of the game under AI control is pretty revolutionary. I don't think I've seen that before in another game of this kind.
Is there something more you can tell us about the AI?
Well, I could tell you how to beat it.
And finally, we have the producer of the Hearts of Iron series here. So how do you feel now that Hearts of Iron 3 is released?
Well, I can describe it in one simple word: happy, happy, joy, joy. The amount of good feedback we've got from the game has been astronomically great. It's unique in that it's the only game that truly simulates the entire aspects of World War II. Everything from logistics to diplomacy, everything from warfare to espionage, from production to tech research. There's no other game that even comes close to it.
And there we leave Paradox Interactive's development team on the terrace, looking out over Stockholm, discussing new, upcoming and still secret game projects.